So to let you know a little bit about a cutter, it is technically a small craft, but it is one of the bigger small craft. And so it is not much bigger than this room out there, as far as I can tell.
Okay, so this is a ship that I can fly?
Yes, it is. It's a small craft. And ship's boat.
Right.
It's in fact, ship's boat is right here in this same section,
Yes.
and the skill said anything in that section.
Oh.
So the cutter is 50 ton is the designation, and I think that's probably based on modern naval standards. And it is it's very space worthy. It is capable of 4 gravities of pressure, and is much better than just like a little ship's boat, which can only stand 1 and is used just to go back and forth across ships. This can actually get in and out of orbit and things like that. It is atmospherically streamlined. It means it can enter orbit and exit orbit. And it has a crew of 2 and is notable for its modular capacity, which means you can snap different things. There are 3 modules. Okay. And some cutters are very combat worthy because you have several weapons modules in there, or a combat computer and things like that. And this one, you don't know what is set up for the mod. You would know the modules from your observation. You can tell that it is not heavily weaponized, and seems to be more cargo oriented, and actually fuel. It has an extra. One of the modules is taken up with substantial fuel.
Yeah. Okay.
So this thing is ready for a long trip.
I'm going to die.
So and as I say, a crew of 2.
So what I do automatically is I just spout all the technical stuff while taking stock of the ship.
Excellent. Excuse me. So we now have the realization that the ship is. You can realize now that the ship is ready for launch. Okay. And as you approach, you can see one of the entry hatches open, and a person leans out and says, "Hurry up, we're ready." Okay. So the point being that it has a crew, you are cargo.
Yeah.
Or passengers. So it has a crew of 2, as I have mentioned a couple of times. Any guesses on who they are?
I guess that the Taggart wouldn't be here himself, would he?
I don't know. I mean, let's go in and we'll see.
It's the fugitives.
Oh, of course.
Oh, it was your report that screwed up the plan and forced them to leave. Forced them to get out of the. We have to get out of here fast.
If this was like an American action movie, it would be like, "Hi guys," but it isn't. So Oh, okay.
So as you come in, and you of course don't know this.
Yeah.
Right. So you have. You might have. Did you?
Actually, I should know the name because I read the report.
That's right. I was going to say that's probably true. So you will, when you see them, you'll say, "Oh, that's those 2," and they introduce themselves, and you know their names. They are Marek and Corby, and 2 men, one of whom looks a lot older than the other. Yep. And they are kind of giving you the look. One of Corby says something like, so you are going to be one of the new sufferers.
And do I recognize them at all? Because they were like...
Well, I agree. They recognize you, and you recognize them. They turn to you, and they both kind of stare, and Marek is like, "What the hell is he doing here?" to you. This is all your fault.
Oh, just shut up and get on with it.
Yeah, I think it's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
I saved your ass. Just shut up.
Yeah. Excellent. So, but it's not a good start.
No, it's not, but they deserve it.
Yeah.
We're not easy pads.
Right. So, okay. So this is what brings us to the to our journey. Yeah. But yes. So instead of cheerfully welcoming you to the community, the communality
Yeah.
of that they belong to, they are instead, being, well, okay, you stay in there, and one of the modules is storage that also has some very limited basic living accommodations that have been sort of real old school army, kind of places to sleep. They've got their own better berths that are built into the ship for the crew, but this is where you stay.
Obviously, there's something going on, but I keep my mouth shut.
Mhm.
What is the range of the mind, the surface thoughts detection thing?
Okay, let's take a look.
Not now. I mean, just for later.
No, I get that. It's good to know these things.
That's
Um,
if you become. A bit
you never
less-
know, right?
And you know that you can influence people's emotions as well.
Yes, but that's dangerous.
Oh, here we go.
Of course it is.
As I guess we could get them.
But
shot
the good fun as well.
Okay, so the range actually is a matter of pumping more points into it.
Which I don't have, so
Right.
problem solved.
So at close range, telepathy has, these are the basic,
Mhm.
right? You're a telepath. So close range, no extra points. Short, which is like across this
Yeah,
room,
okay, so
3
they
to 5
have-
meters.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
that's
you
going
have
to be
to-
one more.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to be pretty close.
Yeah. Too bad.
So that's stated.
That's
Okay.
too for next
So just
time.
keep it in mind, right? And being
Thanks.
being fairly close is not so hard in a small ship.
50 seconds. Okay.
But you're not very friendly with them, so it might not be as easy
Yeah.
as it might. So the takeoff
Mhm.
is the next part, and the key here is that since it's fairly routine, it's not that big a deal. But the problem is that you might have an encounter with some ship, and if you have an encounter, then that means there may be some kind of interaction depending on what they think of you. And so I have
Do we have weapons that we can see?
this on the ship, or wait.
Yeah,
first,
yeah. I mean,
I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, us versus them. Do they have
I
weapons?
see. Right.
If we
Right.
end up taking
Right.
the ship by ourselves,
Right.
I don't know. We never know.
Things can escalate quickly.
No, I'm a captain. I need to think in advance.
Okay.
Every plan needs
Mm-hmm.
to be.
That's why you're the captain now, and you're still private.
That's that whole leadership thing. That
Yeah.
Right. And so, in fact, we may want to think in terms of leadership
Yeah, I'm fine.
as we continue
Yeah.
through this part of the game. The main problem is that for me is that I need to look at the place. I actually had it ready to go, and now we have been talking, so I lost all my places.
Sorry.
But I am just going to go here. I have found it again. To get back to my point,
Yes.
later interactions,
Mhm.
keeping leadership in mind is a good idea.
Okay.
Right now, all we are doing is seeing if you get out of this system effectively. That's our concern. And I decided to do all these rolls cold. And so for possible encounter leaving, the first part is actually going to be getting to you're going to be going through the Nimbos system,
Okay.
and that actually turns out not to be a problem. It's already cleared
Mm-hmm.
to go through there. The question is leaving the Nimbos system in an unregulated way.
Yeah.
Is the tough part. That's where we have to see whether we have an encounter.
Okay.
So
But is a cutter? Is it a spaceship?
Yes,
Okay.
right. This is as you are going up through the
Okay.
gravity well of Nimbos.
Okay, so it's not just in system. I was thinking about like Starship.
You mean out here?
Yes.
No.
No.
This is a formal thing. When a starship enters a system, there is a chance that we'll encounter any one of a number of different ships going about their business. The possibility that you just pass some merchant ship and the merchant ship says whatever, that is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be just a colorful detail where the animator gets to draw something cool, or it could be a hostile patrol cruiser, right? We're not, that's the point, we don't know.
Okay.
So here we go. 2 dice are rolled. There are, Nimbos. It does have a scout base, so that is going to affect the roll. +1 if there's a scout base.
Yeah.
So there it is with its triangle. And so then let's just, and then the starbase type is a C. Okay. So I think I'm doing this right. I roll on this, I add 1, and I use the C column. Okay. And then there it comes, right? Suffix P. The suffix P on any ship type indicates pirate.
Okay.
So I'm getting an idea of how this works. All right, here we go. So +1. I roll a total of 4, which gives us no encounter.
Yay.
Yes. So much for I wasn't sure just like how much time we need in this session for what, because you never know if an encounter turns hostile and now you have a pitched combat, right?
Yeah.
So I was looking nervously at the space combat rules, wondering if we were going to get into them.
There is more sectors. You said that it's every time you enter in one?
Not every sector.
Oh.
Every system.
Okay. So the next one is when we arrive.
Right. Now, I'm not quite sure. There are apparently no wandering monsters or whatever in space. That would have to be situational, where we know you are being pursued.
No space
or something like that. So space amoebas or whatever. And I suspect that people like pirates want to go and prey upon the lanes.
Yeah.
Right.
So
they're not going to go roam around here and just burn fuel.
Yeah.
In a ship that's as small as this one, you would probably never want to leave a cluster because of the need for fuel.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, as you now know, has a full module. That's 30 tons of fuel. That is...
Yeah.
Now, we're out of the system now. And so you have lifted out of the gravity well and you are headed. And the Corby, the older looking one, is reluctantly going to tell you, well, we are all on the same mission here, so I might as well give you the information that you have to know.
Yes, thanks.
And so you don't, and so no other, and he kind of pauses, no other problems can arise. So these guys are this guy's kind of snotty, right?
Yeah, I wasn't be dumpster diving.
Come on, you're all 4 guys.
Right.
Don't move away with the weapons.
And so the issue here, first of all, is that he'll show you that in the 3rd module that you haven't seen yet is actually the cargo.
Okay.
They're going to be selling it we're headed for Xander's. Xander's is rated... I believe that, yes. Xander's is rated... Xander's, Pulaski, and Lincoln are rated white.
Oh, white? In the middle? Okay.
Yeah. So this whole area, they will point out, this is the back of Beyond. This is a terrible place. Terrible atmospheres, terrible water, it's stuff like that. But a lot of resources.
Yeah.
So you have different corporations and things that operate out of here, mostly in terms of supply to this one and to Abraxas.
Texas.
And so, so the problem is that, and so that's why Xander's has this excellent starbase.
Yep.
It's the one planet that
Okay.
has this excellent thing.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But you will notice that it has no oceans
And
and no bases. In fact, if you look across this whole cluster, there is one single scout base, which is probably derelict, probably functioning, but not.
Kind of.
But the Empire doesn't go there.
Yeah.
Right. So I call it the Empire, the civilization, right, as you might think of it. So yeah, these are all indicators. I rolled these randomly, by the way, and it turned into a rather nice, little setup. And there are these other worlds over here as well, which are themselves. Let's see, that's going to be Garmin and Galton. Those are amber.
Okay.
And then these are white, as I said, this little set right here. Others are variously warning.
could we mark
levels.
our map in a way?
With the colors?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I just need a yellow and a red
Mm.
pen, and I could just do it. But I haven't.
I don't have that anymore.
A big need there is machine parts.
Mm-hmm.
And so this cargo is actually a magnificent 30 tons of full modules of storage of machine parts that they can make here and they can't make there.
And why are we smuggling that?
The point is that when we get there, that is going to be the ticket in. Right? That this is going to be a very advantageous trade.
Okay.
It'll give you guys lots of wealth to work with, and you can set up some sort of functioning arrangement there.
Yeah.
It's specifically for you two. These guys are your ride.
Yay, money!
Yes. Yeah.
We're retiring here.
If you
Maybe not.
tired here.
I mean, look at the planet.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So
my planet.
Look where we're from.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, that's true. So Xander's
Left it.
is a little smaller than Earth. It only has a trace atmosphere and it has no water. It's non-agricultural, and by the numbers, it is the only reason it's not industrial is because the population is just a little low,
Yeah.
which means I'm calling it industrial with exploitative labor. Right? If you just push the population a little harder, then it will qualify for industrial.
Yeah.
But because of that, machine parts there are needed. So, and which is fun too, because I worked it all out. I rolled all this stuff for the cargo and everything.
Mm.
And it's perfect. It means that the profits at Xander's actually go up with this much too. The amount that you have, you roll for that too.
We are lucky.
So it was a really, I rolled the perfect cargo for the trip.
Out of curiosity, do you have anything in the rules about living on a waterless world?
Well,
you kind of need water.
I agree about that. I mean, what if you roll hundreds of millions in a waterless world, which I happen to do? It has, however, those worlds give you bonuses on the technological level.
So
The places with no water and bad atmospheres, you get big bonuses on the tech level. So this has tech level 9 as good as Abraxas.
Uh-huh.
So that means that they basically live in technological circumstances that make it possible.
Yeah.
So you would have extractions of water that people receive, or you would have
Asteroids or some comets or something like that.
Yeah. So